I would have had my hair done just if I'd known y'all were coming. It looks terrible, but does that look better? I want some powder.
Powder?
Thank you.
You want to do it? Okay.
Let me do it some more.
So, Hilda, how long have you lived in this house?
About 40 years.
And did you raise your children in this house?
Yes.
You had 6 children, I understand.
Yes.
Was that a conscious decision to have
Yes.
6 children?
Very much so.
Why did you want so many children?
So many, because I just love children. And my husband wasn't crazy about having 6 kids, but he was a good man. And but I had 6, and he was happy with them.
What was the most important thing that you thought the children should learn, that they should live by? What did you teach them? How did you teach them to live their lives?
Well, to be kind and thoughtful, and never do anything ugly, and most of all, be kind to other people.
So what happened when kids will be kids and they couldn't quite live by that advice?
Well, I never had really any problems with them. I mean, major problems. They had kid problems, like stay out too late, and yawls. I mean, come home and say, oh, and that never went too well with me. And they were good kids, though. Very good kids.
Did you have your hands full as a stay-at-home mother then?
Yes, I did. And but we had rules, and they tried to follow them. Sometimes they didn't, like staying, oh boy. And but they generally just lived with my rules.
What were your rules?
My rules were, if I said come home by 12, they came home by 12:30. They knew they couldn't go out the next time. And just basically, they were good kids and brought their friends home.
What advice would you give to another woman who might be raising a lot of children?
Not to look at the nickel, but, In fact, the first place we lived was in York, Pennsylvania. And, everybody lived there was rich. And I wasn't rich at all. And so I had to go into a community that was, but it didn't bother me. But I had to teach them to live with the kids or that way. I don't know how I did it, but I did.
So you taught your children to live with what they had.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, they all went to dancing school. I had no money to go to dancing school. And they went to dancing school, and they went here, and they went there. And they said, ooh, and they'd come home, Mama, can we go? And I said, no, baby. At this time, we didn't have 6 kids. Best thing we could do was feed them.
So you were good at stretching $1.
Yeah.
What were some of the ways you made that dollar go far?
words, if they had to go to with $1 rather than $10, I'd say, sorry, you can either go or fit in. And they fit in fine. And they all graduated from our college, which I'm proud of. They come up for special occasions, which thrills me. And then there's Judy, Tommy, Annie, Julie, Robo. Now that's pretty good when I'm on dope.
What was it like with 6 children running around this house? How did you keep the day organized and going?
Well, they knew if they did bad, you're restricted from going from the place. And just rules from me to them. And of course, when they got a car, we had rules there because, come home sooner or whatever.
Was it hard for you when the children
Left.
became adults and left?
Oh yeah, cry and cry. Except they'd come home from college. Sometimes that was good and sometimes that was bad.
How was it bad?
Well, I hadn't seen them for a while and they'd be wild, and do funny things. And he's laughing over there. He looks so much like my children, my sons.
Mm-hmm. And how was it good when they came home from college? Did you notice changes, how they were growing up and learning things?
Oh, no. Yeah, growing up and maybe checking on their grades. And most of the time they were very, very good. And which I loved. I'm the luckiest woman in the world. I have 6 kids and I had no really big problems. So they were all fun, though. And
what was one of the biggest challenges you had to face in bringing your children up?
I guess money. Because it was time my husband was had a bad year, selling. And, but we kind of, got over that, like we should. But everybody has a few problems,
Did the kids work?
Yes, ma'am. After college, they got their own job. And after just coming out of school, they all had to work, and they did.
What did you teach your children about how to get along with other people?
Always never steal, never, never. And I just be really kind. And I think kind was one of my main things.
Can you think of a time in your life that was one of the happiest times?
When we went on a cruise one time with all 6 of them, that was fun.
How about a time that was very hard or sad? You mentioned that one of your children died.
Oh, that was the saddest time. When Leonard died, I just thought that was the end of the world. And it took me a long time to get over that. He just had a pilot, Cessna, I think it was called, and loved that thing. I mean, he flew every place. And I did sometimes, but it wasn't my whole being. But he took a lot of people to different places they wanted to fly. And both of his son, would like to go flying too. So soon he bought a plane, Thomas. We call him Tata. And that was fun. And of course, I love to go home to Pensacola, and we'd fly down there sometimes.
I understand after your son died that you really got a lot of comfort from sitting out on your back porch.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about that?
Oh yeah, that was go out there, out on the patio, and cry and cry and cry, which was very helpful to me.
How has the neighborhood been good?
Oh my gosh, sensational. When this happened, I have the Elvis Presley's music on, and that's very comforting to me when they come. And after Leonard died, they all would come up and we'd listen to the music, and that would really help me. And I've had parties with Elvis.
So tell me your Elvis story.
On one thing, we went down to see Elvis, and there was a big sign that says, Elvis, do not come on porch, do not sit on Elvis swing. So but we went up anyway. We had Julie's little 3-year-old, and we said, oh, we've got to get a picture of her on there. So we removed the old artificial wood, put that one on, and put her on. And Amy was her name.
What did you especially like about Elvis?
His moods more than anything. You know, a lot of people said that's what ruined him, you know, all that. But it can do a lot of much for me. Really good, and it does. It soothes me.
So that gives you a lot of pleasure?
Oh yeah, a lot of pleasure.
What else gives you pleasure?
Going to the museum, which I worked 25 years, and it's very great that way.
Which museum?
The High Museum of Art.
Tell me about that.
I worked down there, great, you know, as a volunteer.
What did you enjoy most about working at the High Museum?
Well, I worked with the volunteers, and I had 400 of them, and they were so cute, you know. And then they, you know, just had fundraisers all the time, did a beautiful job of that, made bukus of money, I mean lots and lots of money, and it was fun to see them make, you know, we'd have all kind of things, and we raised a lot of money, and they were all sweet to do it because we raised thousands of dollars, and it was just a fundraiser for them.
I bet you had to know people pretty well and how
Oh,
to
yeah.
work with people to
Oh yeah.
to get people to give money and to volunteer and all that. Tell me about your philosophy of working with people. How do you do it?
Well, one thing that we had rules and regulations and fun and fun and fun, and they were just precious. And they had a going away party for me, which was so much fun, and he had that for me, and it was just fun, fun, fun.
Have you had to deal with a lot of pain since you've...
Yes, a lot of pain, and I can't wait to get up and get walking.
I guess that you're pretty much in the bed these days. Don't get up much. Is that right?
Oh no, I get up when I have it before this disease. Oh yeah, I'm a get-a-goer.
So when you can get up and walk, where do you want to go?
Well, one thing, I'll never leave my home. When I always tell the kids, moved in out the front door, and I want to go that way, very much. And can you ask any more questions?
Sure. Well, what's the most important thing to you right now? What's important to you now?
Not to get old, not get old lady style, and make up and do this and stay with it and not act old or do old. I mean that too. I may look old, but I can, still go and do. And that's the way I really want to be. And I was until the day I walked out that door. And so, I don't want to be old. I'd rather, when I was feeling this disease or whatever, still haven't found out what it is. I still want to go and see. I like to be real active at Christmas time and Easter and so forth. But
what do those kinds of holidays mean to you? Christmas, Easter?
I have all the kids over there, Christmas and Easter and manicure and not manicure. That's still when I'm on this medicine. And that like Christmas, they all come over and have presents and exchange, and it's really fun for that.
Were family traditions like that always important to you?
Yes, very much. So I hope, you have to walk if you go in any place. I mean, you can't get around. It's really hard.
What has it meant to you to not be able to get around right now?
Hard. Really, and a lot to me. And I'd rather be gone than that.
Than in the bed?
Oh, yeah.
Have you told anybody that, your children?
Oh, I tell them all the time.
What do they say?
Oh, Mama, you'll always be here. It's mean as hell. And no, I don't want to die. Really don't want to. Unless I die, I want to go boom.
I understand you have a lot of grandchildren.
24 grandchildren.
Tell me what your experience has been being with them.
They started with Leonard's children, which were 2. No, that's grandchildren. Yeah, great-grandchildren. I had 2 and then great-grandchildren. And then, as I said, since I've had this disease or whatever it is, I kind of get dopey with that. But you want me to count who they are?
No, just tell me, whether you spend a lot of time taking care of your grandchildren or...
I did, and a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Somebody told me that you enjoyed going to the dollar store.
Oh,
Tell me about that.
That's the funniest thing, because as soon as I can get out via my bed, I want to go to the dollar store. And the funny thing about the dollar store, all of my little kids, when it's their birthday, and how old they are, they get to go. And so that's a real fun thing for us. And they go through and they pick up a piece of anything. And I said, how old are you? 5? Okay, 5 things. You can want to trade them out. That's fine with me. But you must not put them on the floor or anything. And that's a big deal with them. And after they're 24, it gets a little more positive. And they're still the big ones will do it. And then, of course, their grandchildren will do it. And that's the first thing my foot comes on the floor here, I'll take them out.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Know that I'm so proud of them. Yes, that I'm so proud of them. Loved all of them. And I think love was the best thing. And tried my best to do with what we could afford. And all grew up to be wonderful people.
So you have a lot of happy memories.
Oh yeah, many, many, many.
So what makes you happy?
My children. More than anything.
And what did you do that made them happy?
You'll have to ask them. I don't know what made them happy. But, you know, I just love them to death and don't regret anything that I've done, which many things I have done.